Transfer portal season is crazy. We just gave you guys a video like 7 hours ago, and there are already 4 brand new, pretty big news stories that we have to discuss regarding Tennessee and the transfer portal. First up, Sam Leavitt on 3 gave us a little bit of an update on what today's day might look like for Sam Leavitt, what they might be discussing. I'll tell you what On 3 had to say about that. And then Tennessee might be close to sealing 2 pretty massive commitments on the defensive line. Pretty new information right there. The Vols miss on 2 big defenders in the secondary. I'll tell you who they are. And then we're going to wrap up today's show talking about 2 running backs that are coming to visit Knoxville, Tennessee very, very soon. And I mean in the next 24 hours. Speaking of the next 24 hours, we're going to continue to pump out content for you guys. So make sure you subscribe. 69 nice subs away from 11.5K on the channel. So help me out. Hit that big red subscribe button. $0, 0 cents. All right, up first, a little bit of a quick Sam Leavitt update. This isn't anything groundbreaking. This isn't anything earth-shattering, but it does give a little bit of a look to what they might be doing and talking about today. Because we heard the news this morning that he was extending his visit a whole nother like 12 to 18 hours, was supposed to leave in the afternoon, now is leaving tomorrow morning, and we kind of just sit here. We don't really know what it's like to recruit somebody out of the transfer portal. We don't know what they're doing. On 3, their sources have a little bit more information. They said sources have told On 3 that meetings will be ongoing on Thursday, ranging from offensive meetings to discussions about his financial package. Now, both of those we talked about earlier today, but it is a little bit nice to get some clarity and know 100% they're talking about his fit in the offense. Not surprising right there, but we threw out possible discussions on financials, and we do know that that is happening, and that is the big question mark when it comes to Sam Leavitt. It's his money, how much he's going to be paid, and if Tennessee's going to be able to afford him with all the holes they have on defense. Speaking about those holes on defense, let's talk about Chaz Coleman. That's where we are going next. Chaz Coleman's been very, very busy this week. On Sunday, he was in Baton Rouge. On Monday, he was in Tennessee. On Tuesday, he was in Columbus, and I was kind of nervous about his visit to Ohio State. But I feel like the fact that we are sitting here on Thursday and still no official news about him becoming a Buckeye, that had me very, very excited. And then Ryan Stano, a guy who covers the Buckeyes, put out an article this morning and said after a visit came and went from Coleman on Tuesday, the Buckeyes might have squandered their opportunity to land him. Going into him entering the transfer portal, Ohio State was like the top school. Everybody kind of thought it was Ohio State up here and then everybody else down below. Tennessee entered the fold, and they look to be a serious contender. In fact, Austin Price told us today that a possible in-home visit might be coming soon. That news coming pretty recently. I already saw the screenshots all over Twitter on the message boards, and that's something you should be excited about. Truly, truly, truly. He is the #1 edge rusher available. Didn't have a ton of production his freshman season, but he is still so young, and he projects to be a really, really unbelievable player with the skills that he has, with just the assets, the athleticism, the size, the strength, just those God-given abilities. And he's already been a year with Jim Knowles, so knows that system very, very well. Will already have a leg up. He's not the only edge rusher we're going to discuss today because Damon Wilson out of Mizzou entered the transfer portal a couple days ago, and Austin Price additionally said Tennessee is kicking the tires on Damon Wilson, and this might be the defensive target that I'm most excited about. Because you've seen the production in college. You saw it just last year, 23 tackles, 9.5 tackles for loss, 8.5 sacks, and a fumble recovery. And we know that after the departures of Joshua Joseph, departures of Caleb Herring, Jordan Ross, which was a little bit of a surprise, like your Leo room, your edge rusher room is almost empty at this point. Not only do you need bodies, not only would Damon Wilson be a body, but he would be a talented one. A guy who you can almost count on to get you double-digit sacks in 2026. Do you want to land Coleman and Wilson? How sweet would that be? 2 guys off the edge, wreaking havoc. I'd love it. I know you would love it too. If you would, hit that thumbs up button like today's video. All right, enough with the good news, at least for a second. Let's talk about the bad news, because that's the thing about the transfer portal. It giveth and it taketh, And it didn't take it today in terms of Tennessee players entering the transfer portal, more in terms of guys who have visited Tennessee that I was really high on. Tennessee was very excited about, but they ended up going elsewhere. Lyrik Rawls is one of them, committed to Arizona State today. Veteran safety, 73 tackles, 7 pass breakups out of Kansas. And then also Penn State transfer safety King Mack signed today with NC State. Pete Nakos reported that. Both of those guys were in Knoxville, Tennessee this last week. Both of those guys would have been immediate impact players. And I'll be honest, I'm bummed about those two. We talked about both of those guys when their visits were scheduled because we thought, man, safety is the number one need on this roster. Both of those guys would be starters on this team next year without even thinking about it. And I know it's early, right? I know there are still more targets. Those are not the only fish in the pond. I get that. But when both of them come on visits, when one of them, like King Mack, is a guy who's played in Jim Knowles' system that you believe can just come in here and immediately have a leg up on everybody else, it's just a bummer. Getting both those guys in Knoxville and not ending up landing. And safety's the biggest weakness on this roster. Maybe defensive line after all the departures to the draft, into the transfer portal, but it was your biggest weakness in 2025. Like I said, both those guys would have come in immediately and been impact starters. Over 120 tackles combined for the both of them. 10 pass breakups combined, each with an interception this past year. And there's all the talk about Jim Knowles' system and how it's so difficult to nail down. It takes a year or two for these guys to get really comfortable, and that King Mack would have come in here and would have been great for that install. But you live, you learn. You hit some, you miss some. Those two guys, from all the talk earlier in the week, were two guys I think a lot of us expected for this team to hit on. Coming up, some more news to be happy about, though, so do not go anywhere. Let's talk running back transfers. That will be in Knoxville over the next 24 hours after I give you a word real quickly about this awesome deal going on. $35, that's all it is. If you go to chatsports.com/10blackshirt, that's TENN, black shirt. That link is in the comments and description of today's video. I made it super easy for you. You don't even have to memorize that. All you got to do is click on the link. It'll take you right there. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have had this sweatshirt since my freshman year of college. My birthday is September 1st. I moved to Knoxville, Tennessee, moved into North Carrick dorm on August 17th. And my grandma sent me a gift card of $100 to the Vol Shop as my birthday present that year. It was awesome. So I went straight in there, got this Tennessee sweatshirt, but I've had it for a long time. I'm sure you guys have had your merch for a long time as well. You might need a closet refresh. You might need something new. New year, new you, new gear. Chatsports.com/10blackshirt, just $35. All right, good news. Let's talk about it. The Vols are hosting 2 stud running backs. And running back, we know, even though you locked down Deshaun Bishop, is a position of need with Peyton Lewis in the transfer portal and Star Thomas. He's going to have eligibility. Kendrick Raphael out of Cal is visiting today. And then the one I'm very, very excited about, Bryson Washington out of Baylor, is visiting on Thursday. Let's start off with Bryson Washington. My 2 best friends in the whole wide world, they both went to Baylor, massive Baylor football fans. I got them on the phone when this news came out, and I said, look, sell me on Bryson Washington. They said, you are going to love him. Had a little bit of regression this past year, but his freshman year in Waco was unbelievable. Over 1,200 yards on the ground. 6 rushing touchdowns this past year on 788 yards, still over 5 yards a carry. And if you look at the film, which if you want to, it's on my Twitter. I tweeted it out earlier today. The dude just looks like he runs like Derrick Henry. He's big, he's tough, he doesn't go down, but he's got that sneaky speed that you would not guess with a guy his size. I think he'd just pair perfectly with Deshaun Bishop. I think they themselves would have a little bit of David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs to him. That Sonic and Knuckles type. Kendrick Raphael is another guy that will be in Knoxville. He's going to be there today, probably there right now as you're watching this video. 953 rushing yards for the Golden Bears this year on 234 carries, 13 rushing touchdowns as well. When it comes to running back transfer portal players, reminder, Cam Cook out of Jacksonville State. He canceled his visit, was going to come earlier this week. He did not. He's elsewhere. Zylan Perry, who visited, I believe, on Tuesday, committed to Cincinnati today. So you're running out of running back targets. These two guys, I would love to lock at least one of them down. I think they could be massive impact players for this offense in 2026. And again, like I said, pair up perfectly with Deshaun Bishop. He's going to be your RB1, but do you trust Dwayne Morris to be RB2? I don't know if you do yet. These guys, Kendrick, Bryson, I definitely would. Who's your number one portal target? Let me know down below in the comment section. We're going to get on out of here. Thought we had a good video done. Lots of information. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you got me followed on socials. Every single thing you saw tonight, I had on social media before I made this video because it takes 3 seconds to send out a tweet. So make sure to follow me on Twitter and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll be back at home tomorrow. As you know, chat sports during the NFL season. Fridays we're off. Actually, Saturday I'm back in the office because I'm hosting our Bears-Packers game on Saturday night. Then Sunday we're back off. So at homes, back in studio, at homes again. Regardless, 2 videos a day. Keep us locked in and subscribe.